K-Rock Midland Rock Reviews. Welcome back to Behind the Bands. I got Mikey from Islander here, man. Mikey, welcome to the show.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
So excited to talk to you guys. First, how's the war wound there? This is something that never happened on our show before. You get stung by a bee on the way over here.
Yeah, I got stung by a bee. I feel like a wuss right now because it's a little tiny bee, but I'm doing all right. It's just swelling up pretty bad, but show must go on.
Hey, it's not the size of the bee that stings you that counts, right? It's the pain it inflicts on you. So.
He got me pretty good.
Well, hey, maybe he knows the title of your album. It's Violence and Destruction, so maybe the bee has listened to it. So.
You know what? It's funny. I didn't even thought about this yet, but one of the first things we were shopping as like the album cover was actually a dead bee, so maybe the bee found out about that. So we didn't go with that one. And he's like, "What in the world?"
So how are you holding up traveling wise? Man, you guys came all the way from Iowa. What, day before yesterday? Talk about that show.
Oh man, it was crazy. We played with Rob Zombie, and it was an honor, but it was crazy for us because we've never played in front of that many people. It was sold out in this arena, and we were like, we're in an arena. So I don't know, it was really weird. Like when they turned the lights on the people, it was just like the sea of people, and pretty intimidating. But I think we handled it.
So tell us about the rest of the tour. Now this is, I guess, kind of like a one-off for you guys because you're about to go out on tour with some other pretty big name bands. So share with the people.
We have a tour coming up with Nonpoint and Gemini Syndrome, 3 Years Hollow in October, November, and then we have some other stuff that needs to be confirmed before I can announce it, but we're gonna stay busy. It's gonna be a crazy rest of the year, crazy next year. It's gonna be pretty nuts. So I just miss my wife and my dog.
And you're playing at Louder Than Life Festival too, right?
We're playing Louder Than Life. It's gonna be pretty awesome. My favorite band, POD, those are good friends of mine. They're playing it too, so good company.
Lots of ship rockers are going to be at that event.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that's a great segue because look, the next question I had down was tell us about your relationship to POD because I know they're on one or two of your songs, and tell us about that, how that started.
Growing up, I used to go to their shows all the time, and this is before I had a car or anything. My mom was taking me to all these shows and whatnot, and my brother, and it was just they're the kind of band that they're not really like. They don't really have like a fan base. It's just like fans. They treat their fans more like a family, and so we talk about things that weren't even music, and we just built a relationship over the years. So Sonny recorded like a old DIY like hardcore track with us before we were ever signed or anything, and then once we got signed and we had the opportunity to do it right, and we went out to California, we had him come down to the studio, and he killed it on a song called Criminals with us.
So tell us about that experience going out to Hollywood because you're a South Carolina band, and you know a lot of bands don't seem to do that anymore. They kind of record in their hometown. What was the decision to go out to Hollywood and record, and what was that experience like?
Well, we recorded most of it in Orange County, but we did some of it in North Hollywood at NRG. And Cameron Webb, the producer, he's actually the one that we flew out there because we wanted to record with him. And we had been talking to him on the phone, just different producers and whatnot, and kind of weighing out our options. And the thing we liked about Cameron was he was actually interested in it, not as a payday, but he was interested in the band, and he wanted to get in there and he wanted to work with us. It wasn't the kind of thing where he was like, sure, I'll produce your record. He's like, I want to produce your record because I see so much potential. And that was the ultimate kind of decision we made with that.
So talking about the album, the Violence and Destruction album, that Coconut Dracula is a little bit different than some of the other tunes. Were you excited that one seemed to come out as the one that took off first? Or it's a little different than your other tunes, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. I think that even that song has like it's a little heavier live, but I think a lot of the new record has those peaceful moments on it. But I think that like we were like the other night at the Rob Zombie show, people know Coconut Dracula, but when they see us, they're like, we didn't know you were like a really heavy band. And I'm like, it's kind of the world we come from. But I just don't know, like I was excited that it was going to be a single. I didn't know how I felt about it being the first single, but I knew for a fact that it was one of my favorite songs on the record, and I wanted it to be a single. So I just kind of conversation with the label. They had conversations with me, and we have just the band. We sat and talked about it, and finally we came to the conclusion. We're like, you know what? Like, we like all of our songs. Put out any of them. Like, we're proud of our record. So that's kind of where it came from.
Style, and that song, and really all your songs show it. You have a different thing that a lot of singers don't have, is that if you have a band that does some screaming and does some melodic stuff, it's usually two different people, but not in your band. So how big of a challenge is that for you to switch back and forth with the style?
It's difficult. Like, the guys have started picking up a few more of the screams live and stuff, but I think the main thing for me, I try to pace myself now in a live situation, and like lately the crowd's been kind of knowing a few more of the words, or I can teach it to them real quick in the song and get them doing the screams. They don't even realize it. But like, because I mean, I've always told people, like, I don't like it when I go see a band and the show is about the band. I like it to be about the moment and the crowd and everybody there. So we try to do that. I go down on the barricade usually and hang out with everybody because I don't like there to be like a separation. So
Mayhem was a pretty big score for you guys. Tell us about Mayhem Festival, and did you get a lot of the other bands noticing you guys on Mayhem?
Yeah, it was a huge learning experience, a huge honor to be on a tour like that. It was our first major tour, and the guys from Korn and some of the guys from like Avenged Sevenfold and Body Count and stuff, they showed us a lot of love. It was, I mean, I don't know, just the grace and the patience and everything that everybody had with us. It was amazing. And like, just to like grow up listening to a band like Korn and then see them stand on the side of the stage watching us each day, or like by the end of the tour, like they had invited me on the bus to go with them because they were going to do some speaking engagement stuff, and I actually had my own bunk on their bus the last like couple days of tour. So like, I don't know, if you told me that when I was in high school, I'd have been like, what? Like, why? Like, what are you talking about? So, but it's cool, man. They're sweethearts.
Now, the video to Coconut Dracula is pretty cool. It's like a throwback to the days when MTV used to play like videos that looked like that. Tell us about the making of that video. It's got some interesting characters in it.
MTV doesn't play videos that look like anything anymore. They don't play videos.
Exactly.
But, the song, it has to do with having a new nature and stuff, and it's kind of like this play off of Count Dracula, changed his name to Coconut Dracula, and he just has a new nature, and like the song's through a mummy's eyes, and he's looking at him and saying, whatever joy you have, I want that, so you need to teach me what you know. But the music video, we wanted something that had like a little bit more of like I'm really influenced by new wave music, and my brother, he's kind of the one that threw all that into my life growing up. He was always listening to like Depeche Mode and whatnot. So the music video kind of has like an M83 vibe to it. It's got like it feels like an 80s movie.
I took that, it reminded me of a Tears for Fears video when I saw it, with the masks and all that.
Exactly. So kind of that vibe. I love that world. And the director of the video, he had an idea to do some stuff with like a mask, and he was kind of wanting to do like the same, like almost like the 60s horror movies. When it comes on, it freezes and all this stuff, and it has like that vintage look. So he threw some ideas out, the band threw some ideas out, my brother threw some ideas out, put them all together and got the video. So
now it seems like you guys got here to this point really quick. Did you really get there that quick? I mean, you were talking about not even imagining this in high school, and you look a lot younger than me. So like, how quick did this take off for this band?
Real quick, one more thing about the Coconut video.
Oh yeah.
I just thought about this. The Coconut video, it tells the same story of having a new nature in a different way from what the song is actually about or whatever, because everybody's always like, what's the song about? How does that go with the video? The video just deals with, you see Dracula and he's not as destructive as this other kid, you know? So that's kind of what the video, not to explain everything, but I think sometimes people are like, that's not what the video shows.
No, you know, it's funny, I actually almost didn't even ask you that, because I figured I'd seen that on the internet, what it's about, and I saw it so many times. It was such an unusual concept for a song, actually, the idea of him, you know, of Dracula eating a coconut. I almost thought, were you just messing with us for a little while at first? But
that's actually, it relates, like, just personally to my faith in Christ and what he has done in my life. And by no means am I perfect. I still have my fangs, so to speak. I'm still a monster, but my nature is changing, and that's kind of where it is at for me personally. We all believe different things in the band, so it's sometimes people throw things on like the whole band as far as what a singer believes in a band, or vice versa. So we just try to tell people we're 4 individuals, and I'm just one guy in the band. I just happen to write most of the lyrics, so all the lyrics.
It seems like this kind of happened quick for you guys, this kind of meteoric rise all of a sudden. How long's the band been around working at this?
This band, I'm 28 years old. This band, I think we all started playing together in like 2006, 2007, and then we kind of split ways. It wasn't called Islander, and I got married. Some of the guys went to different like towns. They moved away, and like I went to college, and some of them everybody just kind of did their own thing, and somehow we all ended up back in the same town. We decided just to jam for fun, and then we were like, well, let's at least make it sound good if we're going to do it for fun. Next thing you know, it gets real serious. Sent out some press kits, we're signed, and we're like, we're still having fun, but it's real serious. So it did, and it didn't happen fast. It happened fast in the sense of once we signed a deal, I think that the things that the label knew we wanted to do, we told them like we didn't want to just go and do the club tours forever. We're like, we see ourselves doing this as big as possible if we're going to do it. So we're just taking one step at a time, though. But we've been playing music, and I mean it's been forever. I was like 16 when I started trying to do this, and I'm 28, so it takes a second.
Well, you're taking big steps, man, because I'll tell you what, you're out there with Nonpoint now, you're out there with Gemini Syndrome, Rob Zombie, so, man, kudos to you guys, and I hope to see you on the Shiprock ship someday, and if you're on it, I know you're not going to tell me if you're on it anyway, but if you're not on it, someday we hope you are on it, and I think your music would go real well with them, and as Ms. Marr said, I know there's a festival coming up. Which one was that? Louder Than Life. Is that the one in Louisville?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know, and Shiprock people that are watching this, go check out Islander, because I think y'all are going to really dig this band.
Early in the day, so get there early.
And that crew,
worth your while.
that crew does that. So, hey, Mikey from Islander, everybody, thanks for being on the show, man. Good luck with the war wound there. I hope maybe there's a song in here somewhere. If you get a song about Dracula eating a coconut, and I think you can get one out of this.
Here's an old lyric. My old band had a song, and the chorus kept saying over and over again, I hate bees, but I love honey. So, there it is.
Drag it out tonight, man. Tonight's a great song. Drag it out. Hey, man, thanks for being here.
Dude, thanks for having me.